Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of All Trades and welcome to another video. So quite obviously, as per the title, today what we're talking about is the 4.5 pound Harbor Freight American felling axe. We're going to talk about this axe, the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, and then we're actually going to cut down this popple tree with it to see how it performs. So stay tuned and let's get right into the video. And welcome back. So before we get into today's video, as per the usual, I got to ask you to go down and hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. And hit me up in those comments. If there's something you want to see me do, or if you have any questions about today's video, just ask me in that comment section. And I do really try hard to answer as many questions in the comments as I possibly can. All right, so let's get right into it. What have we got? We have the Harbor Freight 4.5 pound American felling axe. This gets mixed reviews on the Harbor Freight website. There's some people that don't like it. They say they've broken the handle, they've had problems with it, things of that effect. And we're going to give it a try. So what I did was I went to my local Harbor Freight and I picked the axe out of the bunch that seemed to have the straightest grain in the axe. I think it's a relatively decent handled axe. And we're going to give this thing a whirl, and I'm going to try cutting this tree down today, this popple tree today. But let's talk about a little bit of particulars of the axe first. It's a 4.5 pound felling axe. Now, I did notice in the comments people said they were using this to split wood and they weren't happy with the way it was splitting wood. This is not a wood splitting axe. That's not what this axe was designed to do. If you want to split wood, I recommend you get a splitting maul. But this axe is not meant to split wood. This is a felling axe. This is for cutting wood, logging, that kind of thing. This is not a splitting axe. So if you're disappointed with the way this axe performs as a splitting axe, it's probably because you're using the wrong tool for the job. You can see on the profile of the axe there, it doesn't have any wings on it. It is not designed for splitting wood, albeit you could. I'm not saying you can't. I know a lot of people that split wood with an axe, and I do it as well. But I typically am doing that when the wood is already split at least once, and I'm just making it smaller and processing it down for firewood. But this is really not supposed to be a splitting axe. This is for cutting down trees. That's what it was designed to do. So what is it? It's a 4.5 pound American felling axe. The head in the axe itself is actually made in India. I've also got a couple of hatchets that I've done videos on. They're made by the same company, Pittsburgh Tools, and those are also made in India. As far as the hatchets are concerned, I really like the steel in the head. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's not as good as it could be, but it's also not as bad. It seems to hold an edge fairly well, albeit when you do buy this axe from Harbor Freight, you are going to have to put an edge on it because they don't give it much of an edge. And all I do is I either use a file or I use a belt sander and just go ahead and put a better edge on it because the edge you're going to get is not very good. Unlike the hatchets, this axe does not come with any kind of paint on it, so I did not have to shine this up. This is the way the axe came. I did bring the bevel back a little further into the bit, so I got a little better cutting profile, but not too far. The cutting profile on the hatchet or on the axe was actually pretty good. It is a hickory handle, and if you know anything about me by now, you know that I really do prefer hickory handled axes. This is a pretty girthy handle. It's pretty thick. It's pretty weighty. If you've got small hands, you might have a little bit of a struggle hanging onto it, but that's not anything that's not fixable. You can obviously remove some material off the handle to make it fit your hands better. It's got a really nice swell on the butt end of the hatchet or of the axe. It's got a nice curve to it. It feels good in the hand. I've swung it a couple of times, although I have not done any real work with it. This tree is actually going to be the first of the real work that we're going to do. As like the hatchet, this also came with a varnish on it, which I very quickly removed. And I did coat this handle in boiled linseed oil, much like I did in my hatchet video that I did a few weeks ago. So you're going to want to take that varnish off. If you don't, you're going to end up with some pretty serious blisters in your hand, because that varnish is just not real fun to hang on to. And that's the first thing I would do if I was to buy this, is to take that varnish off. Second thing would be to sharpen up the cutting edge. All right, enough talking. Let's take a look at this popple tree here. So I've got a popple tree here that's probably a foot in diameter. It's getting kind of old, and it's right here back by my drainage, and it's getting pretty waterlogged up here, and it's just not doing well. I've wanted to cut this tree down for a while, so this was a really good excuse to do so. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find out if a 52-year-old fat, out of shape old man can cut this tree down with a Harbor Freight axe and not have a heart attack in the process of doing so. I am not Paul Bunyan. I am not a professional axe wielder. I do not do axe competitions or anything like that. The point of this video is to see if we can actually get it done using this kind of equipment. So let's go ahead and let me get going on cutting this down, and we'll let you know how I think it's working. Well, I'm about a third of the way through, and I'm here to tell you it's a damn workout. If you've never cut down a tree with an axe before, buy a chainsaw, let me tell you that. But okay, it seems to be working okay. It's not as sharp as it should be, and of course my swinging techniques are certainly not professional grade, but it's getting the job done. I mean, it will cut down a tree. One thing I did notice right away is the axe handle is sinking into the eye. They didn't do a great job of seating the eye, and you can see it's actually sinking down in there. Now if I go ahead, and you can hear it, it actually is not in there very tight. I think I'll take it to the shop here quick and see if I can drive those wedges down a little better, because it is definitely slipping on the eye. So let me go take care of that. All right, just for grins, I've brought out my my double bitted axe. So just out of curiosity, I figured I'd bring it out and see if it cuts any different than the Harbor Freight axes, so I can have some kind of a comparison. So this edge here is pretty decent. Let's take a few swings with this double bitter and see what it does. All right, there is a huge difference between my double bitted axe, my old double bitted axe, and the Harbor Freight axe. This thing, it cuts way better. It's lighter, so it doesn't take as much effort to swing, and you don't need as much weight behind it because it's cutting better. Now, I bet you if I spent some more time working on the bevel edge of this axe, it would cut better. But as it stands right now, this thing's not even close to my double bit as far as cutability. This thing makes much shorter work of the tree. It's cutting it better, it's cutting it faster. I'm not as tired because I'm not swinging it. The only thing I like better about the Harbor Freight axe is the fact that it's got a butt swell, whereas the double bitted axe doesn't have nearly enough swell on the bottom of it. But anyway, we're almost through this tree. I'm going to finish it out with the Harbor Freight. I am pooped. This will probably be the last tree I ever cut with an axe. I'm here to tell you, it's much more convenient to use a chainsaw. Well, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and finish this tree off. Let's get it on the ground, and then we'll wrap this video up. Damn, I should have picked a smaller tree. So I bled for the channel too, by the way. I didn't take off my wedding ring, and I am bleeding on my finger. So I have bled for the channel. That's a first. What do I think of the Harbor Freight axe? I'm not horribly impressed. I like the handle well enough. It's fine. I'm going to have to rehang the head because it keeps sliding in the eye. It is not secure in here. It keeps sliding in and out, and I'm not impressed with that. I can't drive these wedges down any deeper. So I'm gonna have to take it off and rehang it. Maybe I can use the handle, maybe I can't. Maybe it's a new handle, I don't know. But it keeps sliding on the eye, and I don't want to keep using it like this because eventually it's going to come off. But it seemed to hold an edge okay, but the bevel needs some work. It's way too steep of an angle for cutting. It actually needs a lot of work. So if you're gonna go to Harbor Freight and buy this axe, you better be prepared to break out the grinder and reprofile the cutting edge. You better be prepared for the fact that the axe head may or may not slide up and down the handle. And from the number of reviews that I've seen of people who have this axe, they say they've broken quite a few handles. I'm not impressed, but I guess for $30, it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp carrot. It'll get the job done. It's just not impressive. At the same time, I'm not a lumberjack, and quite honestly, if you're knocking trees down with an axe, go buy a damn chainsaw, because that's the way you should be doing it. But I did this for the channel and to see how it goes. Now, a lot of people use this axe for splitting. So let me go get my chainsaw, and I'm gonna level off that stump, and we'll try splitting a couple of logs to see how it does splitting. All right, let's see if it'll split. Looks like it splits okay. All right, so at the end of the day, what do I think about the 4.5 pound American felling axe by Pittsburgh and Harbor Freight? I would save your money. If you're going to buy an axe like this, you don't need a 4.5 pounder to start off with. You're just going to wear yourself out. And when you buy an axe like this, you're intending on doing some pretty serious work. I would get something in a 3.5, 3.25 pound range. Something smaller. And if you're needing to fell trees, get a chainsaw. For $200 or less, you can pick up a chainsaw and you can fell trees. An axe isn't what you want. If you buy an axe like this, you're processing some campfire wood and stuff like this, and quite honestly, a 4.5 pound head is overkill. You're going to have to reprofile the bevel because it's not a good profile as it sits. You're going to have to expect that possibly the handle is going to need some work because like my handle is sliding in and out of the eye. It's not very well seated. I've seen on the reviews where people have said the handles have broken quite regularly, which can be avoided if you look at the grain of the axe handle before you go ahead and buy it. But I'm not head over heels in love with this axe. I guess for $30, it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp carrot. But I personally wouldn't buy it again. I honestly wouldn't. Now, they're hatchets. That's a different story. That's a different kind of tool, and it's meant for a different kind of purpose. But when you're buying something like this, you're getting into a realm where you probably really should have a chainsaw. And if you're just buying an axe to split wood, I guess this one will do it. It's just, why not spend $35 or $40? You can actually get a splitting maul, which is designed to split wood. And if you're splitting smaller wood, a hatchet will generally do what you need it to do, or a 3.5 pound axe. You don't need this big behemoth of an axe. So at the end of the day, I don't think I'd be buying this again. I'm here to tell you, I certainly am not going to pick it up again. Not to do anything like this. If I need to split some wood or whatever, I might use it for that. But because it obviously splits good. Now it's fairly cool out. It's 30 degrees, and the wood that I was splitting is frozen. And it's also ash, so it's very nice straight grained wood, and it splits quite easily. So I guess it would depend on what kind of wood you're trying to split with it. But at the end of the day, this is not a splitting axe. It's not intended to be a splitting axe. It's not what it was designed to be. This is a felling axe, and a felling axe is designed to fell trees. And quite honestly, if you're felling trees, spend another $150 and get yourself a chainsaw and just get it over with. So there it is for what it's worth. Take it or leave it, or whatever you want to do with it, I guess. But I'm not horribly impressed with the Harbor Freight American felling axe. I think I would probably leave it on the shelf. But at the same time, am I upset that I spent $30 on it? No, it's a little more than a case of beer. So, and I guess at the end of the day, if it comes down to it, if I need an axe, I guess I have one. But I already have several. So, all right, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Now, as always, if you like this kind of content, you like this channel, and you like what you see in here, it's exponentially helpful if you go down and just smash that like and subscribe button. Hit me with those comments. Let me know what you think of the channel. Let me know of anything you might want to see me do on this channel. Just please don't ask me to cut down another tree with an axe, because I don't think I can take it. At any rate, this is Ed with Jack of All Trades. As always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for those who watch my channel. Thank you to all of my longtime subscribers. I really do appreciate the support, and we will see you all on the next video.